And we are absolutely back with another All Gear No Game episode. And I filmed one by myself after the Guido Canetti masterclass and the Daniel Santos masterclass. It was like a 9-minute video. Kellan had it all edited and was ready to go get that out. What was it on the?
I didn't know you did that.
On Monday after the fight. The computer absolutely crashes. And so I would just like scrap that. And also you were sitting right there when it happened and I told you. So thanks.
Wait. I wasn't sitting there when you filmed it.
No, as I got done editing.
Oh, yeah.
But I was really relaxed about it. Then after, it's one of those things that slowly builds up and it's like...
Wait, I didn't know that it crashed. You didn't say it crashed.
Yeah, my computer, after I got done editing everything and getting ready to post it, computer crashed and it didn't save. I was like, I'm not going back and doing it again.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But every day is amazing. You want to know why? Even if things might be really hard for you, but when you get those alerts on your phone, on freaking UFC news alerts, that all these absolute bangers are coming out every single day, we're going to close the year off here with a bang. And last year, I said that it was one of the best closing stretches ever, but no, it's this. But first, before we get into it, a movie review?
Of the Harrigan's phone?
Yeah. Give me that star rating.
We always have to give one movie review or TV show review. This is just like name of the game, I guess.
Tradition.
But
it's like the podcast that I would want to do, but like
that I would want to do. But I can't. Just kidding. But no, we watched a movie on Netflix called Mr. Harrigan's Phone. Mm-hmm. And
Stephen King novel. Yeah,
it was like a Stephen King one, and it also has the kid that's in it, and I think he's in something else, but he's a good actor. And it was actually really good. We thought it was going to be really scary, or at least Kellan was like, "Oh, it's a really scary movie." Like I didn't even know what it was about going into it. He just said that a new movie came out, so we watched it, and
Homies didn't get the greatest reviews.
Really? It didn't get...
Got a 45 of Google likers. You know what? That just goes to show that we should never listen to that. 45% of Google people liked it. That's what I mostly go off of, you know?
See, that's why Kellan, it's so annoying because it will take us literally 2 hours to find a movie because he Googles them to look at the review, like the ratings, and we liked that movie and didn't even look it up, and that only has a 45. And if we looked it up before, we probably wouldn't have watched it because that's too low for Kellan to watch, isn't it?
No. Yeah. Well, yeah. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been like, it's wasting my time. But you know what? It wasn't. Because it was the biggest pleasant surprise of all time. Because I hate when things are building up and then the horror movie, then the jump scare, you know?
Well, it was a pleasant surprise for me because Kellan talked it up like it was going to be a really scary movie. And that we are going to find out these like dark secrets and all these bad things. And then really it wasn't that bad. It was more like a thriller. And it was more of like a friendship, like a movie about friendship in a way.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad.
And I've been absolutely pounding Bianca on all this stuff because I am right all the time. Last episode, remember I said freaking Adam Sandler is Zohan? And then she's like, was like the dude in Mr. Harrigan's Phone, he plays...
Mr.
Snow in Hunger Games, and she's like, I don't trust you. I'm like, oh yeah, remember?
Let's fact check that. So he's in which Hunger Games?
Hunger Games. Donald Sutherland. The Hunger Games. Yeah, he's in it, right?
Doesn't quite look like it.
Bro.
It doesn't show up on his movies.
But he is.
Wouldn't that be the #1 movie that comes up?
What the frick? Yeah, he's right here, dog. Doggy. He's right here. Cornelius Snow. Flex on him. So she can never count me out on anything I say now. That used to be her thing, and I'll admit I'm absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I'm good at knowing actors and like what they're in, and also I'm good at like look-alike actors too, like what people remind me of.
I had to write a script actually too for a class, and it's
that I wrote.
No,
the one that we wrote together.
Bianca's a good actor. I'm not gonna lie. That's why she's really good behind the camera. She doesn't act like how she is in real life.
She's such a liar. Also,
she gets into it too. She's like, let's run it from the top.
Oh my god, because you have to hear it from the beginning. That's not even true. You did that multiple times, and I'm like, bro, we just reread it.
And then we used the clacker that we use as started as the scene.
Kellan can't do a scene to save his life.
I can't act. I wrote the script and I don't know the lines.
You co-wrote the script. I would say I wrote about
It's a
75% of
It's a
that.
solid 75-25. It is.
Yes.
You know what's been depressing though? I'm not gonna lie, is the fact that on Saturdays I wake up and Kellan's not a big college football guy. So in the past like 2 out of the 4 weeks haven't had any UFC. It's been rough finding things to do.
Why hasn't there been UFC?
Just venues and scheduling. But we're about to get
Lame.
We're about to get absolute. You're just playing with this.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Every single day. Magomed Ankalaev today versus Jan Blachowicz. We'll get into all these. Got a fun show for you guys, so stick around. Okay, the main thing that I took away from the I had a few key points that I was doing in my episode. My key takeaways that never got posted, all right? Clip this right now from the what was it? Who even fought? Mac Dern versus Jan John. So, main thing. Daniel Willie Cat Santos. All right? This is the man with a plan, man on a mission. We, as the UFC collectively, I am going to say this right now. You have to protect this man. Okay? Give him good... This is distracting. I'm not going to lie.
There's a fly swatter on the ground, and I love playing with things. Okay.
God, okay, I hate you. But Daniel Willie Cat Santos, okay? This is the man that the UFC must protect at all costs, and I'm going to give you some reasons why. 1, mini Charles Oliveira. 2, shoot the box, speaks for itself, marches people down, fights exactly like our boy Charles Oliveira is going to be fighting at UFC 280, going to be the most insane fight of all time, and I'm hyping it up, and I think it's going to live up to all expectations, okay? But Daniel Santos versus John Castaneda was probably one of the sickest fights ever. I was in the shower, okay? Got out of the shower, missed the whole first round. Who would have knew that Daniel Santos got a shin wrapped around his noggin and got stunned and wobbled like 3 different times? I got out of the shower, went in, looked at my phone. All I saw was the last 10 seconds when John Anik is screaming, and I see Daniel Willie Cat Santos throwing a spinning heel kick, and it lands on John Castaneda, and he keeps marching down. You would have never known that this guy got absolutely shelled in the first round. And then the second round, this is what makes him so unbelievable. Him and Charles. The fact that you can absorb so much punishment and still march down your opponent, throw legit strikes, rips to the body, hooks that break his guard, throws knees. That's what knocked out John Castaneda. But he melted an absolute amazing fighter right in front of our eyes. And Castaneda is seriously, after his Eddie Wineland fight, and then who else did he beat? I forget, but he is legit. And the fact that Daniel Santos, this is his second fight in the UFC, comes in and does that after fighting a tough Julio Arce, speaks volumes. And he obviously doesn't talk a lot, but the UFC, we need to build this man up. He, out of a ton of the guys in the UFC at 135 pounds, he needs to be a priority. And obviously there's not a ton of easy fights and stuff, but it's just... There's just something different, okay? In a star-studded division, this guy, when you get to do like Charles Oliveira, anything remotely similar, we have to just lock that in and make him as big a star as possible. One thing that concerns me, obviously, him just like Charles, because Daniel is younger, we can't be taking so many shots to the noggin. We can't be taking that many shots, especially when we're trying to build up your career. But... that's just going to come with the territory, especially when he says, I like to take the guy's best shots and then give them my best shots. It's not the best strategy, but it makes for a really exciting fight. But that's what I want to say about Daniel Santos. I absolutely love him. I had him on my list of top, what was it? I did like 3 or 4 months ago, the top 6 best fighters that have come out from 2022. Javid Bashar was on there. Daniel Santos was on there. Gidi Njukwani, Jonathan Almeida, guys that are taking over the UFC. Yeah, UFC, please protect our mans. Get him good fights and work his way up into the top 15 because he's going to be must-watch TV every single time. Star in the making. And then obviously, what do we have to say? I didn't really hit on my Guido Canetti thing where I said the oldest fighters in the UFC.
Yeah.
Francisco Trinaldo looked fantastic. Guido Canetti beat Zohan. Just exceeded all expectations.
Is he the guy that got you? He did the video for you, Guido?
No, that's Clay Guida.
Clay Guida.
Yes, the caveman.
Yeah.
But-
okay. But he's older too, huh?
Oh yeah, he's older, but not as old as Guido. What is Guido like 42?
I thought
And he
that
looks
Clay
fantastic.
was...
I know, I get it. I every time Clay Guida is a legend. Every time I think of a guy named Guido, I think of Clay Guida in the back of my mind.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
so I wasn't the only one. Okay.
Clay Guida could be another one of those guys that's like that though. He's an ageless wonder. As well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's like 39 though. I don't know if he's 40. He might be 40.
Pretty close. He's probably
Pretty
getting
close.
there.
But nobody at this age looks as good as Francisco Trinaldo and Guido Canetti. Those guys can withstand the tests of time. Because going in and
That's
beating
so sick.
Zohan Costa after that guy went toe to toe with Tony Kelly and Adrian Yanez. The way that he makes guys, something that makes him special, you don't believe that he's going to lose. Because no matter where he is in the octagon, he can be pressed up against the side of the fence or he could be in the middle. No matter if he's pressing the pace or if the other guy is trying to press the action, his leg kicks keep everybody at bay. And his power and explosiveness, like that's probably why he loses some fights, is because he's so explosive in the first round and wants to get a finish that he probably gasses out a little bit. But, I mean, Mana Martinez, tough-ass guy. And Randy Zohan Costa, those are nice feathers in your cap. And I don't care what anybody says, he has a lot of fight left in him. Same with Francisco Trinaldo, who arguably could have took rounds 2 and 3. And it was super close in round 1 against... Rude Boy Brown. But that's all I'm going to talk about from last week's card, because those kind of were the main ones. Obviously, Yan Jonan looked really good, but I'm not going to bore you guys about stuff that already happened. Okay, let's look at the stuff that is coming in the future. But
So this is going to be this Saturday's card?
yes. Okay,
Cool.
what I was thinking, though, it's actually dope, is I wonder if this has ever happened. Probably never happened, and this just goes to show how much the sport has evolved. But we had Corey Sandhagen versus Song Yudong. Chinese main event. The Chinese guy in the main event. Then we go, next one was Mackenzie Dern versus Yan Jianan. Yeah, Yan Jianan. And 2 Chinese people back to back. Okay, now we're going to another fight card where it's women headliners. Again.
That's sick, yeah.
Back to back women headliners, 2 Chinese people. Like that, I think that's pretty dope. And I don't think that's back to back Chinese people ever headlining a card. Those are things that happen in Kellan's brain, so that just shows you where I'm at. Other people wouldn't even think twice about that, but I just think it's pretty dope, and they're sick ass cards too, because the women's fight between Mackenzie Dern and Yan Jianan, high ass level, and then this one between Alexa Grasso, probably my favorite women fighter.
So who's Chinese then?
Nobody. I'm just saying it's another women. It's just like really odd main events.
Oh,
because there's not a
another
ton of like
main event.
high name Chinese fighters yet.
Yeah.
And the fact that there was 2 in a main event and now we have a back-to-back women main event, it's dope.
That is cool.
And this main card, I'm actually like pumped as shit for the main event. It's going to be wild because Alexa Grasso's boxing, some of the best in the UFC for sure. And her move up to 125, best move for her. And I honestly think that she could definitely make a title run. Well, I mean, she is obviously, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, because whenever girls fight Valentina Shevchenko, it's always like, except for the last one is Kellan Vieira, it's always like, I don't know, dude. What is it? Yeah. No. It wasn't Kellan Vieira. Kellan Vieira is a 45er. Who fought Valentina? Bro, it was...
The steel trap's getting rusty.
Dude, yeah. Steel Trap is getting preoccupied with other stuff, dog. Steel Trap is getting like dementia right now. Dude, who did she fight? Dog. Bro, it was a Brazilian dog. Kellan Vieira is too big for her. It was... I'm pulling up right now. Why can't I remember this? Tyler Santos. The same fighter, basically. The same fighter. But Tyler Santos is a beast mode.
That has the eyes?
No. That's Verna Janjidoba. That's so rude of you to say that.
No,
the eyes.
She just has really beautiful big eyes.
Verna's an absolute
Wait,
killer.
can you show me a picture of Verna? God. I just want to see.
She has
if it's who I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, Verna's a killer. She has I think she did like a special
is.
dance on it, or on her walkout. So Ariel Helwani has a picture of her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, but let's get to this main card, okay? Because there's some serious fights on here that are money makers. So I'm just gonna give you my rundown of like
The prelim.
The stars, okay? Tatsuro Taira. He made his UFC debut against Carlos Candelario. You guys already know about him. Super well-rounded. One of my favorite, like, intro to the UFC performances. Like, Tatsuro Taira is an absolute killer, okay? Joe Anderson Brito was supposed to fight our boy Melsik Bagdasaryan. But then Melsik broke his hand. And Melsik was 2020 best prospect that we found in the UFC.
Yeah.
And then what was the next one? Victor Henry versus Rafael Sunsao, okay? Victor Henry was not in the UFC at all. Took some major shots against Raoni Barcelos, who bounced back big time against Trevin 5-Star Jones a couple weeks ago. Victor Henry, arguably one of the greatest UFC debuts I've ever seen in my life. Going in there, fighting against Raoni Barcelos, nobody is counting him in. Victor Henry fights like a coach wants you to fight. Absolutely clean everything. Super exciting. Take shots. Has a chin of absolute granite. And he's probably the one that I'm honestly most excited for just because of how insane his fight against Raoni Barcelos was. Because at the time, Raoni, we're like thinking this guy's going to go on a run here and become one of the best bantamweights that we like know currently. Because like Raoni's run is a bit limited because he's getting up there in age. But he looked fantastic. His gas tank was incredible because he usually like gasses out a little bit. But Victor Henry, pumped for him. Getting his shot against Rafael Sunsao. It's going to be... There's so many close-ass fights here. I'm pissed that Melsik Bagdasaryan broke his hand, though. Okay,
Cussing
but...
a lot today.
Dushko Todorovic is back. And then Brandon Royval versus Askar Askarov. Askar Askarov is going to have a flame under him after losing to our boy Kai Kara France, dude. This fight is going to be so crazy because we know Raw Dog, Brandon Royval... He loves to get in a little bit of scrapper.
I remember when we heard that for the first time.
Bro, Brandon Roddock, I'm taking my mic out for this one. This is a special episode today.
You've been taking your mic out lately.
Askarov versus Brandon Royval is going to be probably one of the fights of the year. Almost can guarantee it. If there's anybody that Askarov needs in his life right now, because we know Askar, he's been really dominant in all of his fights, and he loves to... Oh, really? You take the mic out too? Wow.
Okay, first of all, I started doing this first and then you...
Yeah, but then I realized that my setup is so baller that I don't need it.
Yeah, it was when we had the old stuff and we couldn't move this without making too much noise.
Yeah, but this is what Askar needed. Is Brandon Royval, a man that's going to push the action, never in a boring fight, even if that he's okay at putting himself in danger just to like find somehow to get a victory no matter how the fight's going for him. And he's kind of picked it up after losing to Brandon Moreno because he was kind of on like a little bit of a rough patch there with because like he was like legit looking at becoming a title contender, and then he lost to Brandon got the title shot, and then he lost to Pantoja's going to get a title shot soon, but now he's picked it up against Bontarine and Matt Schnell. And so do we need to make an episode, though, about comebacks? Because there's some seriously good comebacks this year. Like Matt Schnell.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. And who else? Our boy Drew Dober came back against Terrence McKinney. And then obviously, like Daniel Santos. There's been so many. I want to make a list of my favorites. Oh, Douglas Silva the Andrade versus Sergey Morozov. That was a whack. But, yeah. Now... But yeah, so Askarov, he needs Brandon Royval in his life right about now. It's gonna be a wild fight. Jonathan Martinez, though, this is the star man of the card versus Cub Swanson.
Really?
Cub's coming off that dub over Darren Elkins, I believe, right? Yes, nod. Okay, just give me a blank face. Jeez,
you're
acting like you're watching a video.
You're so weird. You are acting like you don't have the internet right in front of you that you can look it up.
Isn't the internet just such a useful tool? Look at that.
But it's also
Darren Elkins.
not.
Kellan.
So you were wrong or you were right? You were right.
I'm never wrong. Jonathan Martinez, instant analysis right now. He's going to absolutely... I'm sorry. I know Dan Argueta interviewed him. He's the man. Cub Swanson's his man. Dude, Jonathan Martinez is the absolute dude. And he's going to put it on, Cubby. This is not a good fight for Cub Swanson. Look, I want to be wrong here, but Cub Swanson, Jonathan Martinez poses a lot of problems for the best bantamweights in the world.
I have a feeling you don't want to be wrong here.
Is this going to be at 135? 135? Yeah. It's going to be tough for Cub here. We're putting money down on Jonathan Martinez.
I was gonna say, so is your dad gonna bet on
the
Jonathan
dude has
Martinez?
the best striking in the bantamweight division, and I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna ride right now. There's better fighters, sure, maybe, but Jonathan Martinez right now, pound for pound, probably has the crispest striking, especially when the fight stays clean.
I like his last name.
You'll hear that 100 times out of 10. You'll hear that 100 times out of 100. Because you don't get the opportunity. You can't hear something 100 times out of 10 because 10's the cutoff. So I don't know where I just made that phrase up from. But
100 times out of 10.
Daniel Cormier will say it every time. Even Dominic Cruz will. So if Dominic Cruz is saying it, Kellan's going to say it too. And it can't be wrong because Dominic Cruz said it. And he's the smartest analyst of all time, apparently. So,
wasn't he used to be a fighter? Dominic Cruz?
Yeah, dude. He just got his nose broken by Cheeto Vera.
Yeah, and he does commentary, right?
Yeah, he's a stud. He's super intelligent.
I feel like you're being sarcastic.
He is. No, yeah, he is.
Oh, okay. I feel like you've said something about him before.
No. Nothing.
Okay.
Crispest striking in the UFC. Jonathan Martinez, you heard it here last. He's going to win bonus 50K. And then if he gets, this is going to be his fourth fight in the UFC. I mean, his fourth win here. Going to be a problem in the top 15. It's going to be a real issue.
That'd be cool.
It's going to be a real issue. What do you mean it's going to be cool?
If he got
into the top 15?
Yeah.
Dude, he's going to light people up in the top 15 because he's going to stay on his feet.
It's going to be sick.
It's going to be amazing. And then I'm predicting Alexa Grasso to win via TKO.
TKO.
Boxing.
Technical knockout.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get into like some fun stuff though. That's the card. I'm really just using this as a platform to vent all my feelings towards all of the amazing news that has come out so far. All right, ready?
Okay.
What's the first thing that Kellan's going to do? We're going to put our mic back for this one because this is serious. This is serious stuff. What happened? What got announced? Birthday present. I didn't need it.
Birthday present? An early birthday present.
But the UFC decided to give me one anyway with Shavkat Rakhmonov and Geoff Neal. I mean, what are we doing here? This is going to be one of the sickest fights of the year, all right? Wait, is it going to be at the end of the year?
What card is that? Yeah.
Let me check, let me check
at
this
the
out.
beginning of next year.
Can you talk and fill it in while I'm typing? Jeez.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
So next week we'll have a new review for you guys, movie review, because on Friday we're going to see Halloween Ends.
Yes.
So next week, look forward to that movie review. I can't guarantee it's going to be a positive, good one. I mean, it's not been the best series, but Kellan and I have seen all of them, so we're keeping with the tradition and going to see it.
Yeah, baby. It was so embarrassing today. It was dead silent. We're doing an assignment. My stomach just growls because I haven't eaten a single morsel of food today. And I'm just doing this.
You need to eat.
My brain. You guys.
It's 5:05
I'm trying.
p.m. You haven't eaten anything?
I'm just giving my thoughts and knowledge, okay?
You're telling me you came home from school and didn't eat a single thing.
I only came home for like 20 minutes and then we started doing this. I started preparing for this.
Did you get a granola bar like I said?
I just got water. It has nutrients.
You're pissing me off. You can't not eat.
Okay, can we talk about Shavkat?
Guys, he has an eating disorder.
I don't. It's called not having time.
No, it's called food comes first.
Water comes first, then food, then UFC,
And
then the 49ers.
You need to eat.
49ers UFC is kind of like a...
You should have you need to buy a box of granola bars and eat them or have them in your car. Or your mom has Kind bars that are in the freezer. Why didn't you just eat one?
I'm not pitying myself.
No, I know you're not. That's the annoying part, is you should be like, oh, I'm stupid for not eating, or I'm so hungry, or whatever.
I will eat after this. Here, let me ask you a question right now. Someone comes up to you and says, Bianca, I'll give you $1 million to fight in the UFC. But I'm going to give you five years to train. I'm going to give you 5 years to train.
So you're trying to change the subject. Okay. Yeah, I would do it.
I'm giving you 5 years to train.
Easy money.
What country are you going to?
What country am I going to train in?
Yeah.
Brazil.
Really? You're not gonna go to Makhachkala, Russia?
I'd rather not go to Russia.
She just wants to go to Brazil for the men.
No.
No, you could go.
Plus.
You could go down under. New Zealand.
We'll go to New
City
Zealand.
kickboxing, yeah?
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, she almost pulled out our special accent because it gets her excited. So you would go to Brazil over down under?
No, actually, I would go to New Zealand because that would...
New Zealand or Australia?
New Zealand.
Okay.
Just because the language barrier, I think I would be able to...
You mean you can't just bust out your Portuguese?
No. Portuguese is like one of the main...
You mean you don't just have that in your back pocket?
Portuguese is like a language that I hear and I'm like, how is this a language? Like, there's only a few languages that I'm like, they're literally just saying random
That's how I feel about some
sounds.
of the Scottish people on Great British Bake Off. It sounds like, I'm like, all right.
Shout out to James.
That's what
we're so
making.
sorry you got eliminated.
Yeah, you got screwed there, homie.
It should have been Carol, bro. Sorry.
Oh, facts.
Okay,
1,000%.
but on topic, Portuguese is an extremely hard language to understand
Oh
or
my
learn.
God.
I cannot imagine.
It's the coolest.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's awesome, but but they also, like, Brazilians are the most badass, I feel like. So it would be like,
they look hard.
I think it would be the best place for me to physically, like, train and learn, but mentally, I'd rather be in New Zealand than in Brazil.
I don't know where I'd train. Like, I'd probably just go somewhere here.
Where does
America.
that one
No, if you had
Chinese
to
guy
leave the
you
country,
like?
though?
That one Chinese guy you like?
He's Team Alpha Male. Let's not press our face against the mic.
It's fun.
No.
It's so soft.
No, because it makes noise. God, put it back in the socket.
I
can't trust you with it. God.
Back in the socket.
What are we even talking about?
You need to answer
Geoff
it.
Neal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Did we need this birthday present? No, but we got it anyway.
It's more of a
And
Christmas present.
Christmas present.
Your
It's a
birthday is
Halloween
not
present.
till
My birthday isn't even till next year. Okay.
till
But
March.
Shavkat versus Geoff Neal. We don't deserve it, but we're gonna get it anyway. Early 2023. All right. And early analysis, early predictions from yours truly, the expert.
From your ex truly.
Let's not touch
From your
the.
ex
Remember the
truly.
last time you just pressed the button there and it sounded like an electrical storm? All right.
Kellan has PTSD last time I touched the mic. Sorry.
Yeah. It's Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Geoff Neal. My segment here is that immediate thinking is that Shavkat Rakhmonov has ran through everybody he's fought. Cowboy, Oliveira, Michel Pizarris, Neil Magny, Carlston Harris. Everybody that he's fought in the UFC ran through. All right? But Geoff Neal came in there and beat the number 6 welterweight in the world in Vicente Luque. Shout out, props to Vicente. You're the man. You gave Geoff Neal a shot, and Geoff Neal took advantage of it. I'm sorry, that's just the nature of the business. But Geoff Neal, I'm gonna say this: the guy has had some tough fights, like his fight against Santiago Ponzinibbio, who arguably, most definitely, actually, is the most underappreciated welterweight in the entire UFC division. But in the welterweight division, Geoff Neal's coming on, all right? And his left hand, baby, his hooks, he's not afraid to spam that. He's not afraid to go R1, triangle, or square. I think those are the punches in UFC 4. He's not afraid to go hooks all day long and just break your guard.
That was a good little analysis, or what would that be called?
We're just going to move on from that. Just kidding. But if he manages to land one, I'm going to say that it could rock Shavkat, and we could get a completely different fight than we're expecting. It's just, can this fight? This is going to be. You guys are never going to be the same after I tell you this. Can Geoff Neal stay on the feet? That's the key. If he can stay on the feet here and stuff takedowns when Shavkat's feeling
That's the title
uncomfortable.
of this video. Can Geoff Neal stay on the feet? We'll find out.
Yes, dude. Yeah, I'll 100% do that. That will be the title. If Shavkat gets uncomfortable and can't take Geoff down, I trust Shavkat's his striking. Obviously, he never telegraphs anything. His spinning heel kicks to the head, he seems like he lands him every freaking fight. And then his Obviously, striking, kicks, everything is so tight and crisp, and it just stings the hell out of you every time he touches you. So I'm just saying, Shavkat. I'm leaning heavily towards Shavkat just because he's the more well-rounded fighter. I believe he has more ways to win than Geoff Neal. It's just Geoff Neal going in there and beating Vicente Luque and finishing Vicente Luque. Vicente's never been finished in his life. It's gonna be tough to go against Shavkat. But
it must be done.
If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Geoff Neal. And especially now. The guy has cranked up his career. I think he was still a little bit iffy coming in after he had some bad illness and stuff. But now we're getting the Geoff Neal that ran and buzzsawed through Mike Perry when Mike Perry was looking pretty nice, actually. And when we thought that was going to be like one of the fights of the year, Geoff Neal completely put a skibosh on that. My dad's like, you thought this was going to be a good fight? I was like, yeah, I thought it was going to be a good fight. But it wasn't a good fight. But that's my early prediction is Shavkat is going to win via submission because he's going to try to get it to the ground. But that's actually probably not going to happen because everything I say doesn't happen. So Geoff Neal is going to stuff all the takedowns, and it's going to be a war. And Shavkat's going to have his Gilbert Burns-esque
Either one
moment.
will be great. Either scenario. I feel like we'll be good.
I think Shavkat versus Geoff. It's going to kick the year off with an absolute bang, bang, baby. But that's my predictions there, all right? Don't count Neal out, but Shavkat's got more ways to win, and we got to remember that. It's not easy to sub Neil Magny, but it's also not easy to finish Vicente. What are you going to take? What has more weight, you know? That's what we have to say. All right, next clip. Jan
This is where Kellan's going to clip that.
Jan Blachowicz. Wait, let's find our
How much more do we got today?
Just a few more. Ready?
Few more
really
what?
Really quick. Just fight announcements. It's been a barrage of just Jonathan Almeida. Just a lot of stuff. Neil, this is quick though. Magomad's gonna get his title shot after he beats Jan Blachowicz, and that's a fact on God. I predicted he's going to make light work of Jan. I don't know if that's that big of a hot take, but yeah.
That guy's body
and also,
is that guy that you're covering him right now?
Phil. Fresh Prince?
Yeah.
This guy? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's Nico Price. He looks like a swimmer, bro. Literally the most broad shoulders and longest arms you'll ever see.
I like his mustache.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick. He reminds me of like...
Phil Rowe versus Nico Price is going to be a killer fight.
Yeah, that looks like a good one.
Both long as shit. And they're going to just go at it. Both like to dabble in the grappling as well.
You used to not cuss.
This is what happens when you just get the best fights ever announced and the best promotion ever announced. And I just realized I'll never get
cuss,
hired.
But I mean, he used to not cuss on video because you know we like them monetized. We like making that money.
Cody Ko cusses and he gets money.
I thought you were not allowed to cuss or you get demonetized.
No.
I think it depends.
No, I don't think that's true. There's plenty of people that cuss.
Then why do people bleep it out? Because it depends.
It depends on what organization you work for, I think.
Yeah,
I think
and
some
also,
companies can't cuss.
Well, because also like some they
ESPN.
want to target for children,
Yeah,
and
you're
if
not
it's
gonna say the F word in a kid's video.
Yeah, but if you do, you have to bleep it, or it gets demonetized.
Yeah, but why would you cuss in a kid's video?
Well, no, I mean like like a
We're going to the
young
field trip.
teen. Field trip.
Okay, what are we talking about here?
What are you talking about, bro?
What are we saying? I freaking completely forgot. Okay, last things first. We have a couple things. This is why I can't act, because
Last things first. Couple things left. Last things first.
Couple things. Should we just get to... Wait, I was going to look through the fights and then I get sidetracked.
Why would we look through the fights that we're going to end up talking about
Kevin
later?
Holland's back.
Okay,
Kevin Holland's
we can
back
talk
after
about
retiring.
this when he... What?
He retired and then he gets the most nice matchup ever and he's like, yeah, I'll fight
There's
Stephen
no
Thompson.
way he retired. He's literally like 28.
No, he's back. He's back though. Now, God, I feel like there was something I was really gonna just hit home with you guys, and I just never got the chance because I get too sidetracked because Bianca just sidetracks me. Now, fun topics.
I'm holding my mic. I'm sorry, but
This is what I'm gonna say right now. Is that what are we gonna do? How much longer, okay? This is the grand old question, $1 million question. how much more will it take in order to consider Charles do Bronx Oliveira? Charles do Bronx Oliveira.
Is Do Bronx his nickname?
Yeah. Because he's from the Bronx. That's
Do-
like his favela.
Do Bronx.
Yeah. Do Bronx. It's the sickest name ever.
There's no way Charles Oliveira grew up in the Bronx.
It's in Brazil.
Oh, I thought you meant
Dummy moment.
like here in
No.
New York.
Bruh.
Is that where the Bronx
Bruh.
is?
Yes,
Okay.
there's a Bronx.
Do Bronx.
What are we doing here?
I thought that was a fancy way of saying the Bronx.
Jesus Christ. I feel like I have to do like 3 separate intros for my segments. So, here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Scene.
Scene.
And how much more is it going to take? I can't do it like that, bro. Guys, we're back. So, Bianca obviously interrupts me every time, but how much more is it going to take, okay, in order to consider Charles do Bronx Oliveira from Shoot the Box the best lightweight on planet Earth? Like, of all time, how much is it going to take in order for him to become the GOAT?
More convincing does it need?
Like, does a finish over Islam Makhachev, who is basically Khabib, minus getting frozen by a knockout many moons ago, could that put him over the edge as the greatest?
Yeah.
You think so? Because it's okay. If you think about it, it's the
Yes.
similar style fighters. It's basically Khabib, but it's not Khabib. It's Islam. Like, I think that. Well, yeah, obviously. Okay, we get it. Okay, you turned it off. Bye. But you probably logged off my video by now. But I honestly believe that could be the indicator of whether or not he's the best. Because if he can deal with this type of style, there's going to be so many questions as to whether or not Khabib could beat him. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like the same fighter, basically.
Khabib him.
If you Khabib him. Khabib him. Bro.
Could beat him. Khabib him.
If not, okay. Because how many title defenses did Khabib have? Not that many. What did he beat? Gaethje, Poirier, Conor, and he beat our boy. Bro, oh my god. I literally hate myself. We're going to cut. Kellan's going to do a jump
Poirier?
cut. No. It was Ally Quinta, in New York. It was
Jump
like
cut.
jump cut. But yeah, I honestly believe that maybe. What am I even talking about? Dude, this is so bad, bro.
You believe that what?
I believe that I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. This is so bad. No, I'm just saying though, because I was looking at their win streaks and I screenshotted them, and I'm just saying that like Charles has arguably had a just as tough of a road just to defend his titles, even though he isn't technically the champion. But if he gets the belt over Islam Makhachev and defends it maybe 3 more times, that could maybe put him, because everybody's gonna say Khabib's the GOAT, everything Khabib's just the GOAT in general. But it's like, I don't know, bro. It's plausible that in a few wins from now, especially with the convincing finish over Islam, that he becomes considered the GOAT by many people, especially considering he's way more exciting to watch than Khabib. He's not afraid to like put himself at risk in order to get a dub.
Yeah.
I feel like Khabib was just so dominant that he never, like, that's just the more exciting part about Charles, is that he's faced a ton of adversity. We never saw Khabib. So I mean, that could
That's so
honestly
true.
be like, he could be the GOAT considering the fact that he started from the bottom and now he's here, you know? But yeah, mom's home now, so dogs are going off. But last thing that I wanted to talk about really fast.
Yes. What's the last thing?
Is that, God, I hate my dog so much. But the last thing is Volk is doing the backup. He's going to be backup at UFC 280, okay? Alexander Volkanovski.
Dang.
And I was just thinking it, because I was going to make a segment after this, is would Volk actually fight? Because if you give a title shot to Volk, I feel like he's guaranteed he would take one against Charles Oliveira. But you're not going to tell me. I am just finding it super hard to believe. Like, I'm not knocking Alexander Volkanovski's toughness or anything, or a skill level, but it is just hard for me to believe that he would take a fight against Islam Makhachev. Like, there's just no way in hell, dude.
Yeah.
That style is not good. And I know that you train with guys like Brad Quick, Riddell, and like some of the best, obviously, like Israel Adesanya. But dude, these are like the sharks. These are the main guys at lightweight. And even fighting Charles Oliveira, I don't obviously think that Volkanovski can beat Charles Oliveira, but I think Islam Makhachev, if he gets by Charles, is an extremely tougher fight than if Charles beats Islam and Volk has to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. I don't know how to explain it. It's just styles make fights. Like Alexander obviously has a better chance against Charles because Charles is more willing to stand up. But I don't know, dude. If like
Different
am just
styles.
finding it really hard to imagine, no matter how much of a bag they throw at Volk, that he'll take a fight against Islam, because that is no fun. And also, like I stated prior, there's some serious dudes that are just barely ranked in that division. Some guys that aren't even ranked, and that I think would give obviously Alexander Volkanovski serious issues.
Yeah.
So like
that would make more sense.
and
Like
Beneil
that'd be more-
Dariush is pissed, a top 5 lightweight, that Volk is getting this opportunity to be backup. But at the same time, it throws a little bit of and things. But at the same time, we're not going to see this happen because both those guys are going to get locked in the octagon. Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev is a must, has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to. And it's going to be the greatest fight ever. But that's what my segment was. I just don't think our boy Alexander Volkanovski is going to take that fight against Islam Makhachev. There's no way. He's going to go be like, yeah, I'm going to go down. But if Charles beats Islam, Alexander's like, bro, I'm going to hop all over this ride, because it's going to be like Charles beat Islam. And then if I have a chance of beating Charles, it's going to make me look like the absolute GOAT of all time. Because obviously, like we just talked about, Islam has the same style as Khabib, was like supposed to be the GOAT. So it's going to be crazy.
That's going to be,
because then if Alexander somehow just gets by Charles, I guess we have to say Alexander Volkanovski is the GOAT. Because he'll never fight Islam Makhachev. I just really believe that. I could be hella wrong, but
I actually think you're right. I agree though. From an outsider.
yeah, because it's not as much money, obviously, even though it is a title fight, and it's not going to be as exciting because we see our boy Islam Makhachev pick up big boys like Dan Hooker and just throw you on the ground and choke you out. Those are the guys that probably give Alexander Volkanovski trouble in training camp, you know. So that's all I have to say today, because Dan Hooker and Alex train together, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's all. We'll get this out soon, boys, and then we're gonna do an episode after
Next week.
No, I'm gonna
you
do
mean this
I'm gonna do a
Saturday?
quick one, and hopefully my computer doesn't crash.
That would
But
suck.
yeah, sorry for all the interruptions. Very odd episode. Might have to do a little editing, but
You'll be fine. They like it raw. Okay,
Not
well,
wrong.
see you next week.